So during the long nights of researching for these videos and finding information, creating AI images and just mucking around pretty much, I come across some pretty interesting stuff. So this is one I found. This is the life and times of Booker Noe. So this is the entire documentary. I don't know who made it, probably Jim Beam. I won't monetize it, so if you see any ads, they're somebody else's. So yeah, enjoy this. Anything else I find, I might make some more videos like this. So like, subscribe, and comment. Comment if you like this. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Booker,
Yeah.
what do you think the best part of fishing is here?
Oh, getting the lake. Now let's look at that sun. And the water looks like glass. It's not any one individual thing. Those rings or that bait hits the water and you know every fish knows it's there. It's the anticipation of what's going to take a hold of it.
A native Kentuckian, like 5 generations before him, Booker understands the rhythm of the land and respects the gifts that it offers. It is here that Booker finds a balance between the small batch bourbon collection and some of his favorite pastimes.
Very good. This makes 10.
Born into the legendary Jim Beam family, Booker wears his celebrity and his worldwide fame comfortably, remaining true to his hometown roots and his family's honest heritage.
I was just explaining to Freddie what the history means. Jim Beam, your great-great-grandfather, was the 4th generation. Jeremiah's the 5th generation. I'm 6th generation. Your father is 7th generation, and you're the 8th generation.
This picture,
That's him, Jim Beam, your great-grandfather. This is your heritage. And I know you've got instilled in you the same spirit that I've had all my life, and I'm dedicated to Jim Beam and the distillery and everything. I know you are too, because you've shown it to me. And Jim Beam was a patient person with integrity and love for the business. He was a dapper man. I don't guess I ever saw him without a shirt and tie, a suit. That's one where we differ. I'm not a shirt and tie person. I like just plain old comfortable stuff. Nazareth Academy, it was a convent, and it was just a stone's throw would put you right in Jim Beam's backyard in the distillery, and he had a nice big spring there he drew his water from to make his liquor. Clear Springs Distilling Company was the name of it. Grandfather piped water to the convent for him, and before the girls went to bed, they would say, now we're saying a prayer for Jim Beam. He was one of the few distillers that made it through Prohibition, and those prayers might have helped. Well, it didn't hurt them. He just, well, I'd say 1 in a million taking me fishing. That's one of my fondest memories of my grandfather. So he brought me down and gave me just a stick with a string on it and a washer for a sinker and a hook. I didn't have to catch that thing, but it was, I always thought I would. Little kid. That was a great memory. I can play the piano and sing one song. Oh, Granny, will your doggy bite? Oh, Granny, will he bite? Oh, Granny, will your doggy bite? No, child, no. And you're on the piano, you do it on the black keys. I can still do that one. And I learned that from my grandmother. Uncle Jerry, my mother's brother, says come to work for us. He was in need of an assistant distiller to come in and learn the business, which I did, and it was September of 1951. He was kind of like his father. He was a gentle type person. I don't guess I've ever seen him angry. I don't know how he held his cool. I'm not that way. I'm just not that way myself. I blow off. Wait a minute. And I started in the production and stayed in that production all my life. It intrigued me. The distilling, there's always something new. It's easy to get sentimental over good bourbon. When we sip it, we just have to wait and just enjoy it and savor the flavor.
Over time, Booker's love of bourbon inspired him to innovate. As master distiller of the world's largest bourbon distilling company, he elevated his art to new levels, ultimately creating what many believe are the world's finest bourbons. The acclaimed small batch bourbon collection, handmade, extra aged, and featuring centuries-old recipes. Basil Hayden's, Knob Creek, Baker's, and Booker's bourbon capture the essence of a bygone era of quality and pride. Only Booker, with his unique insight into bourbon making and his depth of knowledge, could have achieved this standard. And only Booker can communicate their attributes.
Now, we're talking about the ultimate here. This is the ultimate bourbon as far as I'm concerned, and I think when I get through with you, you're gonna agree with me.
It is, of course, his signature bourbon, Booker's, that he's most proud of.
Booker's comes out of the still at 125 proof, 62.5% alcohol. It goes into the rack house. Now, with these rack houses we have, they're 27 barrels high. There's 9 floors, 3 barrels on a floor. Now, this will be on the 5th to 6th floor. And the proof on it varies according to the elevation that it's in these rack houses. So they're not heated or air conditioned in any way. So as it ages, the proof will, on the very bottom, it will decrease. Let's say maybe 1/4 point a year. On the top, it'll increase. This is what I call the center cut, which is in the heart of the building, the very center. It will increase slightly. It is removing water. And in the process, the proof increases and the flavors concentrate. Along with the aging of the liquor, the flavors get more aromatic and they'll pick up different flavors like a vanilla, caramel. The longer you leave it in there, the heavier these flavors get. I personally look after that, and when the flavors get right, that's when I bring it out of there. I have them bring it out and put it in the bottle. In other words, it goes straight from the barrel into the bottle. Nothing's been filtered out, added, taken away. Everything that you might say that it originated with or was born with. And people, they just took to it like bees go to the honey. Straight from the barrel, uncut, unfiltered, the Booker. And I was proud to get that on the market. Well, I might say I'd have to take credit for that. So I'm glad to see that the reaction of the people, and that's my pride and joy.
Dad's very proud of it, and I'm proud of it too. He really started something with the small batch bourbon.
Everywhere he goes, he speaks of his special whiskeys, spreading for what to him is gospel. In the process, he has created more than just a bourbon category. He has created a small batch family of consumers, a family that now stretches around the world.
I know Dad, he sure does enjoy going out and meeting with people, teaching them how to enjoy the small batch bourbons.
I enjoy meeting people and tasting the product, just talking about bourbon in general. And I like the people to ask questions. Like I say, ask me something. Don't tell me now. Ask me something. This is my second home. I like the aroma. I like the barrel. And when you're at home, you're the happiest. I'm comfortable in the rack house. Well, my grandfather brought me to the distillery. I never did forget it. It just seems to kind of instill something in you when you're with your grandson and how you love your grandchildren. And you want them to be happy, and this is a good way of life. It makes me proud to be here, and does my son too, and you just feel the pride. I mean, you just gotta feel pride. If you don't, there's something wrong with you. I'd like to be remembered by my time that I've spent in the distilling business. Of course, I've been in the distilling business most of my life. It's getting close to 50 years now, and I'd like to be remembered as I stuck with it when lots of others faded away. But like my grandfather, he was a strong link, and I'd like to be remembered as the second strongest link in the chain of the Beam family. So I'm just proud of what's been passed on to me and what I can pass on to my son and Fred. The Beams are stick-to-it people. In other words, they're dedicated. When they start into something, they stick with it. And I think that's a good trait. Bourbon is the American spirit made by Americans in America. Here's looking at you. Boy, that's good.